Have you ever stopped to observe how a simple pair of shoes can be the difference between an active and independent life, or a path of limitations and insecurity? In addition to the fashion industry curtains, a truth is hidden that few women over 60 have discovered. The wrong choice of shoes not only compromises their appearance, but silently sabotages their health, posture, and even their ability to continue exploring the world with the same autonomy as always. Society whispers in the ears of mature women who need to hide age, disguise time, compress feet into inappropriate models just to look like the years have not passed. This wicked cycle of unreal expectations has created generations of women living with normal pain, frequent falls, and increasingly reduced mobility, all in the name of an aesthetic ideal that does not consider that beauty and comfort can, and should, walk together at this extraordinary phase of life. What you have probably never imagined is that the Ministry of Health confirms alarming data. Every 3 people over 65, one suffers falling annually, and that number jumps to 40% between elderly people with 80 or older. Many of these accidents have a common origin that is rarely mentioned in medical consultations or department stores. Inappropriate shoes that create perfect unstable ankles, trap, and knees compromised by natural joint wear. The transformation that I am about to reveal is not just about changing leaps for tennis or giving up elegance in the name of security. There is a universe of possibilities unknown to most mature women, 9 specific types of footwear that combine sophistication, contemporaneity, and most importantly, absolute respect for the biomechanics of the feet after the 60. These are options that not only prevent falls and injuries, but return confidence to walk with erect posture and look at the horizon, not on the floor for fear of stumble. What differentiates a woman who fully ages from another who becomes hostage to avoidable limitations is often in the details that seem insignificant, such as the height of a sole, the shape of an insole, or the closing system of a shoe. In the next few minutes, I will deconstruct decades of misinformation about what it means to put on well after the 60, showing precisely how 9 specific models can revolutionize your daily experience, eliminating pains you have accepted as part of life, and returning lightness to your steps you may have forgotten that one day existed. The first footwear that every woman after the 60 needs to rediscover is Velcro closing sneakers. Not those institutional models that seem to scream orthopedic, but the contemporary versions that big brands have developed with cushioning and stability technologies. Expert Alexandre Pena, orthopedist of the Portuguese Beneficence of São Paulo, confirms what many resist accepting. The best shoe for an elderly is such as sneakers to stick their foot and closes with Velcro strips, because it is comfortable, soft, has good arc, does not hurt, and allow firmness to walk. What few realize is that this model simultaneously solves 5 problems that affect the march after the 60. Ease to put on when flexibility decreases, balanced body weight distribution, impact absorption to protect knees and hips that prevents slide, and personalized feet adjustment that often swell throughout the day. The second type of revolutionary shoes are the almond, beaked shoes and rubberized sole, a model that is replacing the traditional moccasins and promises to be a trend up to 2025. The differential is in the combination of timeless elegance of the format and the safety provided by the non-slip sole. Unlike conventional shoes, they have a slight elevation of the almost imperceptible heel that relieves the pressure on the Achilles tendon and better distributes body weight. The most modern versions include viscoelastic insoles that mold themselves to the unique shape of their feet, creating a feeling of stepping in clouds, even after moving hours. The physiotherapist specializes in geriatrics, Eliza Costa points out. A shoe has to be comfortable, well fixed on the foot, which is not large, and get out of the heel when walking. This model perfectly meets this recommendation, while maintaining femininity and versatility that combines with virtually any outfit. The third shoe that has transformed the lives of countless mature women is the adjustable sandals with soft leather straps. Forget those bulky and bland models. Current versions are sophisticated, with minimalist lines and neutral colors that harmonize with various styles. The secret is in the Velcro closure system disguised by elegant strips, which allows personalized adjustments to accommodate even feet with bunions or other common deformities after decades of use of inadequate shoes. The open structure provides ventilation, essential to prevent dermatological problems, especially in people with diabetes, as the expert warns, the diabetic foot cannot be fully muffled. In addition, the slightly textured sole offers grip even on damp surfaces, fighting one of the main risk factors for old age falls. Data show that between 20 falling elderly, one suffers hospitalization fractures. The fourth type of footwear that every woman after the 60s should discover is the uniform platform shoes, an infinitely safer alternative than traditional jumps without giving up elegance. Unlike the dreaded high heels that move the center of gravity and overload knees and spine, the platforms distribute the weight evenly, keeping the foot in almost natural position while providing a few extra inches high. Orthopedist Penna is categorical in stating that, as a certain age is coming, high heels are not recommended, explaining that the joints tend to become more fragile by the natural wear of age. The beauty of this model is in its lengthening profile that visually tunes the silhouette without compromising stability. A perfect example of how safety and style can coexist harmoniously after the 60s. The fifth transforming footwear is flexible and textured sole moccasins, not those traditional rigid models, but technology versions that allow the natural movement of the foot. This model has revolutionized the concept of casual elegance for mature women by combining the timeless sophistication of classic design with innovations that respect the specific needs of aged feet. The differential is in the intelligent construction that discreetly accommodates personalized orthopedic insoles, when necessary, without changing the external appearance of the shoe. The physiotherapist Eliza warns about a common mistake. A hard and uncomfortable shoe that does not allow physiological march can generate falls. Modern moccasins respond to this concern with materials that give in and accompany the natural movement of the foot, reducing muscle fatigue and allowing longer walks without discomfort. The sixth essential model is moderate anabolas with rubberized sole, an option that rescues femininity without sacrificing safety. For many women, completely abdicating the jump represents a significant psychological impact associated with loss of visual identity cultivated by decades. The solution is in these anabolas of up to 5 centimeters, which distribute the weight gradually throughout the foot, rather than concentrating it only in the forefire as traditional jumps do. There are very good brands, such as Dr. Scholl, Total Comfort, which make comfortable anabolas but without much heels, says Eliza. The differential of these modern versions lies in the ergonomic design that respects the biomechanics of the step, with additional heel cushioning and non-slip sole, crucial elements to maintain balance on different surfaces. The seventh revolutionary footwear for mature women are the short pipe Chelsea boots with side elastic, an elegant solution for colder days that provides ankle stability without restricting mobility. The most innovative aspect of this model is the combination of lateral firmness that prevents sprains and elasticity in the input that allows you to easily put on, eliminating the need to bow or perform movements that can trigger lower back pain. The strategic height, ending just above the ankle, supports precisely where instability usually manifests after 60 years, without compromising blood flow as they make the highest boots. The square and low jump, usually not exceeding 3 centimeters, provides a larger area of contact with the soil, dramatically reducing the risk of imbalance compared to thinner or pointed heels that many women of this age group still insist on using attached aesthetic patterns. The eighth type of transformer shoe is the low block heel slingbacks, those that leave the heel exposed but keep an adjustable rear strip. This model represents an intelligent evolution of the classic scarpins, eliminating its main problems, excessive fingertips and heel instability. The height of the jump, ideally between 2 and 4 centimeters, subtly raises the silhouette without compromising stability, and its square base distributes the body weight better, reducing the pressure on knees and ankles. The opening on the back provides ventilation without sacrificing safety, thanks to the adjustable strip that prevents the foot from slipping out of the shoe during the walk. This seemingly simple detail makes all the difference in the prevention of falls, considering that the Ministry of Health warns that among the elderly over 80 or older, the frequency of falls reaches 50% per year. The ninth and last essential model is the square, beak mules and low heels, an elegant rescue of the 60s adapted to the contemporary needs of mature women. The reinvention of this classic includes crucial modifications. The wider nozzle comfortably accommodates fingers, avoiding compressions and deformities, while the short and stable heel provides discreet elegance without compromising balance. Although the physiotherapist Eliza warns that the finger slipper is not a footwear indicated for not firmly stuck in the foot, the modern mules differ significantly by presenting a structure that firmly embraces the chest, creating much more stability during the walk. The most revolutionary aspect of this model is how it can convey immediate sophistication to any production, allowing women after the 60s to maintain their personal style expression without sacrificing safety or comfort, a combination that seemed impossible until a few years ago. Throughout our journey through the universe of 9 transforming shoes, you probably felt a mix of revelation and frustration. The feeling that for years someone hid these possibilities that could have avoided so many pain, embarrassment, and even that fall that left visible or invisible scars. There is a silent cruelty in the way the fashion industry traditionally ignored the specific needs of mature women, as if aging meant to abdicate elegance or, even worse, how to take care of the health of the feet were incompatible with staying current and sophisticated. But today, at this very moment, something has changed fundamentally within you. A profound understanding that choosing appropriate shoes after the 60s is not just an aesthetic or passing comfort, but a decision that determines their future autonomy, their ability to continue exploring the world, dancing at family parties, walking the beach at sunset, and remaining independent for as long as possible. Every step we take at this stage of life carries the weight of decades of history and deserves to be given with the dignity of those who consciously choose between freedom and limitation. The 9 models we have just explored are not just shoes. They are liberation tools that allow you to reconnect with the lightness that you might have forgotten that one day existed in your movements. Imagine waking up tomorrow and putting on one of the models we discussed, immediately feeling the difference in weight distribution, stability when walking, in the absence of that heel pain you had already normalized as an inevitable part of aging. Imagine the feeling of walking for hours in a mall without the urgency of finding a bank to rest, or participating in a special event without the constant fear of a stumble or slip that could compromise its independence for weeks or months. What differentiates a woman who ages with grace and autonomy from another who becomes hostage to avoidable limitations is not just genetic or luck. They are small daily decisions, such as consciously choosing a shoe that respects the accumulated wisdom on her feet. Your feet carried you through a lifetime of achievements, overcome challenges, moments of joy and sadness. They now deserve the best possible support to continue their journey with dignity and security. You don't have to choose between being stylish or prudent. The 9 models I shared definitely prove that these concepts can and should walk together from 60. Now that you have this transformative knowledge, do not allow it to remain just as interesting information. Turn it into concrete action. If this content lit up possibilities you were unaware of, press the enjoy button so that the algorithm can take you to other women who also deserve this release. Share with that friend who recently mentioned foot pain, or with her mother who has been reluctant to replace those high heels that no longer serve their reality. Subscribe to the channel to continue discovering other truths that the traditional industry prefers not to disclose how to fully live every phase of life. And leave in the comments which of the 9 models you've ever tried or want to experiment first. Your experience can be exactly the impulse someone else needed to take the first step towards a new relationship with your feet and your mobility.